Hello everyone, you're watching Can You See Fish, and welcome back to another episode of Dissecting Sodor. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Kirk Ronan branch line. This is a standard gauge branch line, part of the North Western Railway, and runs from Kelsthorpe Road to Kirk Ronan with an extension to Cabalnoo Pirates Cove. So we start up here at Kelsthorpe Road. This is the station seen under construction, I believe, in Series 8, and it's in a couple of episodes there. And we come along and we get to Kirk Ronan Junction, which has got some, like a signal box above the track. And we then, on a gantry, and then we go down the line and we're now on the actual Kirk Ronan branch line. Past Howen Croker Canal, which we pass over here, and we also go under a bridge. This is the canal seen in Series 3 quite a few times in episodes like Henry's Forest, Time for Trouble, a couple of other ones. But yeah, then we go under a bridge and we reach our first station, which is Rolf's Castle. According to the wiki, this is the station that is seen in Snow Engine and Emily's New Coaches, and maybe a couple of other Series 7 episodes. This is the station where the children build the snowman in Snow Engine, and Oliver, of course, crashes through it due to the icy rails. Moving further down, we get to the Sodor Cement Works. This is where Fergus, of course, is seen to, that's where he works, that's where his job is. Obviously, in Fergus breaks the rules, he gets sent away by Diesel, who lies. And then we get to this junction here. So we're not going to go down the Magic Railroad extension just yet. Mostly because, well, we'll get to that later. And then we go to the Sodor Pudding Factory. Now, this isn't a location that is found on the railway, I don't believe. This is exclusively reached by road, and as we see in Not So Hasty Puddings or Not So Hasty Cakes if you're in the US, it has to be reached by road by Elizabeth the Vintage Lorry in that episode. And we then get to the Toy Factory. I'm not sure which episode this appeared in. It might have appeared in Thomas and the Toy Shop. It's a hit era thing. Probably appeared in one episode and then was never seen again, I'm going to guess. And we then go through the town of Kirk Ronan to Kirk Ronan Station. This is the station where Gordon has his iconic crash into the station wall in a better view for Gordon. And as you can see marked here on the map, quite a random detail really. You don't get much stuff like this on this particular map, the Sam Wilkinson map from 2014. Skarloey was brought here on a boat. That's obviously a Railway Series thing where Skarloey is lifted onto Neil's flatbed via the derricks of the boat. But moving back up to the junction. Now this whole section is the one part of this map that I completely disagree with. The fact that the majority of the locations on this line, this extension, are even here is just an absolute joke to me. Magic Railroad isn't canon. It just isn't. But the fact that we've got some of the stuff on here is just quite detracting from the rest of the map, which I know that a lot of people hate to begin with, but I don't personally hate it. But I do hate this section. But I'm going to put that aside and try to give an unbiased look of the locations. So straight away, after this junction, we get to the Big Dipper Viaduct. This is that viaduct that's seen in Magic Railroad. Obviously, it's the one that Diesel 10 crashes off at the end of the movie and falls into the Howen Croker Canal. Afterwards, which as you can see runs from right up at the top of the line by Kelsthorpe Road, all the way down to an opening at Kirk Ronan, and past that we then go under some bridges, and the line actually comes next to one of the loop lines, which is a location where the loop line is going over the top. I think the wiki states it's the one from Magic Railroad once again, where the road and the rails are running side by side. And past that we get to Sodor Bakery. It probably appeared in the hit era. I mostly remember it appearing in the Nitrogen era in CGI, but it may have appeared in the new series too. We then get to Diesel 10 Mountain, an absolutely stupid location to include because unlike the Big Dipper, which I could see being a location on Sodor, obviously a viaduct, that's not too far-fetched, Diesel 10 Mountain is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that Sam Wilkinson thought it would be a good idea to include this is absolutely beyond me, and there's no real reason for it. We then pass under a bridge and we get to Sodor Wishing Well, the magic buffers and the conductor's railway, all of which shouldn't be here. Magic buffers, come on now. Sodor Wishing Well, I could see it maybe being there. Conductor's railway, absolute joke. You know, these shouldn't be here. If I could make one change to this map, and only one change, which would be quite hard to do, it would be to remove this section of locations here. It does feel a lot like these were just dumped here, where maybe Sam didn't want to include them, but then he thought, oh, maybe I should, because maybe he expected the fans to be angry, which I could definitely see some people being. I know that there is, for some reason, a lot of love for Magic Railroad, and I get it probably for nostalgia reasons, but that's not for me to say in this video. But yeah, it does very much feel like he just clustered all of this randomly. The fact that he actually had to introduce this extension just to include this really speaks volumes for that movie in general, and the way that it doesn't really fit into the rest of the Thomas and Friends canon / Railway series canon. Just another reason, in my opinion, not to enjoy it. But that's that tangent kind of over, and we then move up to the Pirates' Cove, seen in, I believe, Thomas and the Treasure in Series 10, and we then join onto the loop line with the Maritime Museum, which is spelt wrong, I think. Does that say Maritime Museum? Spelt wrong. That's at Cabalnou, and that is the Kirk Ronan branch. Probably quite a different Dissecting Sodor video. I kind of went into a rant about Magic Railroad and its canonicity, so I'm sorry about that. I don't really think there's much of a problem with me doing that in this video, since it is a pretty short line. In fact, originally I was going to make this a 2-line video with both the Kirk Ronan branch and the Norrenby branch. I eventually decided against that. So yeah, that was the Kirk Ronan branch. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos and projects. You've been watching Can You See Fish? Thank you all for watching, and until next time, goodbye.